Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be walking you through my top reads of this year and even telling you what my TBR is for 2026. So if this is stuff that you like, please feel free to like and subscribe and comment down below what your favorite book of 2025 is and what book that you are really looking forward to reading in 2026 on your TBR. Let's just get right into the video. So I tried to do 10. Unfortunately, I couldn't find 10 books that I felt like were worthy of, being in the video. I have 7. Pretty solid 7. Starting off with a genre that I never really read. This is a sci-fi book. It's H2O by Virginia Bergen. This book I really liked for it being a genre that I don't usually pull for. This book is not at all new. This is over a decade old. It was released in 2014. And this was one of my little impulse buys from Barnes & Noble. It's about acidic rain and how it can kill people. And it becomes like a plague of sorts to where it's post-apocalyptic-esque. It's like going through an apocalypse from the perspective of this younger teen girl. And I think it's so creative because the cover, it's like the acid rain burnt through the first page and the summary of the book is in the shape of a raindrop. I think that's so cute and creative. This one I really liked for the genre that it is. It's like the first time I really liked a sci-fi book like this. However, there is a sequel and I do not plan on getting it. I wanted to include this because it was one of my more standout memorable ones because I never read books like this. This is one of those books where the main character is going to tick you off a lot. I wanted to also start with this one because it's only up from here. This one I would rate probably like a 3 out of 5 star situation because I just think that it's cool that I never reached for this, so it was good for what it is. Next up is a book that I have now read 9 times. So I always include this in my top everything at the end of the year when it comes to reading. So I'm gonna include it here again because I can never promote this book enough. And then There Were None by Agatha Christie. It's listed as her top novel. It is literally exquisite. This is one of my favorite books ever in general. I like her other works too, but nothing will ever come close to comparing to this book. 10 people get called to an island. They have no idea why they got called there, who it's from, who really owns the island. So they're all just there and they don't know each other. They all just got called to this island at the same time under mysterious circumstances. And slowly, one by one, each of them end up dying. And it's very clearly by unnatural circumstances. So obviously, if everybody is dropping like flies around you, you're gonna start pointing the finger at everybody else because apparently there's nobody else on the island. So everybody's just trying to scramble and figure out who is doing it. Everybody thinks that it's the other person, so everybody starts turning on each other, being not wanting to be around people if it's only them and one other person. This is a very fun book. I will always rate this 5 out of 5. This has been one of my favorite books for 5 years. Next, this is the last only other reread book. I hate the copy edition that I have of it because it's the ones that you would have in school, in high school. It's The Awakening by Kate Chopin. This book has moved me in ways that I didn't know I could be moved from a book. I cried 3 separate times for this. This is what opened me up to loving the depressed manic woman genre. It's about a woman that's basically just so unfulfilled with her life. She's married, has kids, and she's just what else is there for me? Basically, it's she's searching for something else, and so she decides to change her entire life up. I think this is something that really makes me feel like a cautionary tale almost, to always be so active and functioning and coherent in your life to where you don't end up suddenly becoming conscious at one point and realizing you hate being where you are. That's basically what happened to her, and I just felt so bad for her the entire time. I didn't agree with some of her actions because I wouldn't say that they're necessarily aligning with my moral code. If you want to try the depressed manic woman genre that's full of heartbreak and it's very reflective on life, start with this one. I feel like this one is a really good one to start with, unless you have a really hard time with older English, because then I have a different book to recommend you if you don't want to read older English. But it's not super old English, it's just more proper. This one, 5 out of 5 as well. Now, this is the book that I was going to recommend you if you want to try the depressed manic woman genre. You want more modern English to where it's more how we talk. I would say do The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I read this for the first time this year and I understand the hype so much behind this book. You can find yourself in this book as well. I definitely think that this and The Awakening, you can find little pieces of yourself, especially if you're a woman in the current climate of life. Sylvia did such a great job of making it not be 0 to 100. This book, again, I think I would actually give this one 4.5 just because I compare it in my head with The Awakening and I'm so biased towards The Awakening. But if I never read The Awakening, 5 out of 5. The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lori Gilmore. I really liked this book. This was the first book that I read in the Dream Harbor series. But this one I really liked. This one I would give a 3.5 out of 5. Only because I didn't like the ending. I'm going to say a spoiler just so I can like justify, like fully explain to the like anybody that has read this book what I specifically do not like about it, because otherwise it's great. Otherwise I love this book. It's just that one thing did dock off that many points for me. So skip to this time if you haven't read it yet. The thing that I didn't like was that she ended up pregnant. I just don't really like that like plot change in the book because I feel like it's sort of like a cop-out of like trying to get the characters back together. So this one's like about a grumpy cook at the pancake house and like this more happy-go-lucky, like very sweet girl that works at like a yoga studio, I think. She becomes a nanny to him and his new daughter. Not new daughter, but like think of the game plan from Disney Channel. It's like that. Like he never knew he had a kid, but then like when the mom dies, he gets the kid. That's what happened in this. I love a like really grumpy sunshine dynamic. This was close to exactly how I like it. Not exactly, but I can still appreciate it. Next is in the same series. I read 3 Dream Harbor books this year. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Jeannie, she got the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and Logan, he is a farmer that just, you know, stays at his own. He has like only his grandma, and his parents ended up dying when he was really, really young, so he like had nobody really growing up except for his grandparents. Him and Jeannie meet. He ends up being like, I like that one. And so he starts like coming around more often, and everybody's like, we see something. And there is a bit of like miscommunication, sort of like secretly into each other, but keeping it out of the public eye, so like you're sort of like secretly vibing with each other. 4.5 out of 5. The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. This one's about Hazel, and then like the lead guy is Noah. So Hazel is like, he's about to turn 30, and she's just like, oh my god, I like wasted my entire life like playing it safe and like doing everything like on the kiddie scale. And she's like, I need to like ramp up my life a little bit. She runs basically the Cinnamon Bookstore, and then Noah, he's like, I think 25, and he's this fisherman, and he's just very like happy-go-lucky, very like, I'm gonna do whatever I want, how I want it. He lives like adventurously. And one day she finds a book like dog-eared in the bookstore, and it has like a line highlighted, and basically it turns into like, oh, she's following clues that are left in the books that she finds that are dog-eared. And she thinks that somebody is like placing them there, and like she links up with Noah to like help her do this and all of that cute stuff, and they end up vibing with each other, and it's very, very cute. Yeah, I think this one is my favorite one out of the series so far. This one, 5 out of 5. Number 1, Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This one is so freaking good. It's very fantasy, and it's like it's fully magical. Like it has such an immersive world, in my opinion, and I think the characters are very, very lovable too. To summarize this book, to keep myself from being way too detailed and like overcomplicating it, I'm going to read the synopsis off Google for you. Caraval is a magical fantasy novel where Sister Scarlet and Tella are swept into a mysterious once-a-year performance called Caraval, a high-stakes game of magic, illusion, secrets hosted by the enigmatic Master Legend. So basically it's like this game where literally anything can happen. It's all up to just chance. It's like the game of life if it were to be like topsy-turvy, Alice in Wonderland-esque. I really liked this. 5.5 out of 5 stars. I loved this very much. This is my number 1 book of 2025. With that being said, I'm going to now go into what my 2026 TBR is. So first is the sequel to Caraval, Book 2, Legendary, and what I'm very excited about is, yes, I became very attached to the characters in this book. However, this one's about her sister. So I'm excited to explore her character a little bit more because all we really knew about her were like 3 or 4 scenes with her in it. So I'm very intrigued to learn more about her sister in this. Next up is Sanatorium. This is a mystery thriller, true crime-esque book. Basically, these people go to this sanatorium that has a bunch of like dark rumors going around about it. Like it just has legends about it. And it gets turned into a hotel. Our main characters, they get invited by these 2 people to celebrate their engagement in the hotel with them. The girl that got engaged, she ends up going missing. We have to figure out what happened. What are these dark rumors really about? Are they real? Why are they happening? Next is another one that I'm really, really excited about. This one is Betting on You by Lynn Painter. And my favorite all-time romance book, and like probably in my top 5 favorite books in general, is Better Than the Movies by this author. 100%. Oh my god, that is like a 22 out of like 5 stars. And of course this is a perfect like enemies to lovers, but realistic, as in like neither one of them are trying to kill the other person. Neither one of them are like actively ruining the other person's life. They just don't get along. I love that because that's normal compared to what we have seen in other books. So next up is another fantasy book, is My Demon Hunter. It's from the Hellbent fantasy series. He's a demon that's been enslaved to like the queen demon, and his job is to like hunt other demons. He then like ends up meeting like a human witch, and you know, they fall in love. I love a forbidden love trope as well, so I'm excited for this. This next one is a relatively new buy. I think I bought it like a few weeks ago. This one is by Stephanie Garber, the one that wrote Caraval, Once Upon a Broken Heart. And again, beautiful covers. I have no concept of what is actually going to happen in this book, except for the very short synopsis that's on the back. This is me going off of general intrigue, pretty cover, and hopes that she did another big one. How far would you go for Happily Ever After? Evangeline Fox, beautiful name, has always believed in true love and happy endings until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic, immortal Prince of Hearts. But she soon discovers that bargaining with Prince of Hearts is a dangerous game. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. The romance rivalry. They just like both battle with like reviewing books. It's very cute and very niche. So like they're both reviewing books, and he challenges her to a competition of find love by trope. So apparently this is a dark romance. I was a little unaware of that when I bought it because they sort of scare me. I'm gonna be real. So in this book, basically what happens is our lead character, Roman, that goes by Bane, he's like a con artist, and he makes a deal with an oil tycoon dude. And it's basically, he wants Bane to sort of like fix his daughter that like sworn off men and like hates men and like, you know, tries to like open her back up and, you know, to romance and whatever like that. And the whole, like, first of all, it's his stepdaughter, so like maybe he just doesn't care about her. If I found out that my stepdad or father or like even one of my friends did this to me, I would be so embarrassed and upset and just disgusted, because what do you mean you hire somebody to do that? I'm gonna look over that. He does eventually start actually developing feelings for her, is what is described already on the back. I'm not spoiling anything. So I imagine there's gonna be a lot of angst along with this, so I'm interested to know like how she is going to react to that smelly little arrangement. Oh, that is The Quiet Tenant by Clemens Magallan. Forgive me if that is incorrect. This one I am so interested in. I really wanted to get through this this past year, but I just couldn't fit it in because I had a lot of work. Starting a new major is a lot of work. Basically, this is told from the perspective of 3 different women to this man. It is told from his wife's perspective, his daughter's perspective, and the perspective of the woman that he has locked in their shed. That is such an interesting concept to have it be from those 3 perspectives, because the dichotomy is insane. This next one is Daydream, a Maple Hills novel, which is in the world of Icebreaker. He is on a sports team, and he's basically about to be on academic probation because he is just not doing well, and that will lead him to not be able to play. So naturally he hires like a tutor. She is like an academic weapon, so she's helping tutor him, and he's sort of serving as inspiration for this writing contest that she wants to be a part of because she loves writing. And it's like they end up like having like a really great dynamic romance situation going on, because they then end up like vibing with each other and like creating like, as it said, like little adventures with each other. And they have like the classic rule where it's just like, we can do everything except for do not fall in love. I love when people make that establishment, because it's like, you're gonna. If you have to establish that, you're gonna. This next one is The Charlie Method. Massive book. This is a huge book for a romance novel. It's by Ellie L. Kennedy. So this is about Charlotte. She is living like a double life. She is just like Batman. By day, she is like the perfect sorority girl. she is doing great in all of her classes and she's from a really well-off family. And then by night she's Charlie, a risk-taking daredevil. She ends up on a dating app and she matches with like 2 really hot guys. Basically, she meets up in person with them and realizes who exactly she's talking to, which are apparently like athletes that are all stars. So she then tries to, figure out which one she likes. Why is it so massive? What kind of like hoops are we hurtling through in this? It's a dual or triple, I guess, perspective book. I like those because I like knowing what each character is really thinking about. The assistant to the villain. She is just like an assistant to a villain, like doing all of his little villainy duties. We are attracted to the boss in this one. I love this little frog in the corner. It says help. Next is another one that I didn't get to read, so I plan on like putting it here. It's You Know Her by Megan Jeanette. A detective is trying to figure out who the serial killer is killing a bunch of men around the city. From the title, you know her. It's not a guy. They're not thinking that it would be a woman. It's from the detective's perspective, I think. A Bright Young Woman by Jessica Knoll. January 1978. A serial killer has terrorized women across the Pacific Northwest when the soon-to-be infamous murderer descends on the top sorority at Florida State University's campus in Tallahassee. The lives of those who survive, including sorority president and key witness Pamela Schmoomacher, are forever changed. Across the country, Tina Cannon is convinced her missing friend was targeted by the man papers refer to as by the All-American Devil's Tango, killer, and he struck again. Determined to find justice, the two join forces as their search for answers leads to a final, shocking confrontation. I hate how these pages are gray S-back paper. So basically, this girl, she offers this guy to seduce her father's gold-digging fiance to get her out of the picture because she's protecting her family. And he ups it by $5,000 and a kiss. They get to know each other, and the condition for the kiss is anytime he wants. So it's not just one kiss to seal the deal. It's whenever he wants a little kiss. That's part of the condition, and she agrees to it. But they're completely different people. They're polar opposites. I wouldn't say they're enemies to lovers. They're just more so arrangement partners to lovers. Next is this sort of mystery thriller meets romance, and I'm very excited. It's She Doesn't Have a Clue by Jenny Elder Moak. So it's about a wedding that takes place on a private island, and our main lead is a mystery novelist. It's to her ex-fiance's wedding, and she's sort of choking back that negative feeling of sort of disdain for it. And so she stumbles across the poisoned and dead body of the bride-to-be. There is a murderer among us. And so naturally, she is sort of being assumed to be the murderer because of her connection to the fiance. And so she has to figure out who actually killed her. And the only other person that is willing to help her and is actually believing that she didn't do anything is one of her past love experiences, which is this really hot Australian. It's an old fling, and they're forced to spend time together to, clear her name. Next is a new book that I got that is in the horror genre. It's Deadstream. This is one that I randomly picked up at Barnes & Noble a few months ago. So I'm gonna read the back verbatim because there's sometimes I just can't summarize it as well as the back can. It has been 2 months since Teresa last went outside. After surviving a car accident that claimed the life of her best friend, Teresa is terrified of leaving the security of her bedroom. Since then, her only window to the outside world has been the online community she found through streaming. The friends she games with, a small following of her own, and her favorite internet personality, Brick. But one night, Teresa's virtual barriers start to break down when a shadowy figure appears in the background of Brick's live streams. Over the next few days, she watches with thousands of others as his behavior mysteriously changes, but then the unspeakable happens. As the first person to catch footage of the deadly specter, Teresa finds herself at the center of a life and death investigation to find out who or what this figure could be. To defeat this relentless force, she must venture beyond the mental and physical walls she's created. But will she be able to conquer her fears before anyone else loses their life? I think this sounds very, very interesting. Salem's Lot. This one I'm not going to really explain what it's about. I want to get my first Stephen King book in this next year. Generally speaking, I need to get one in. This one is very interesting to me. It's another horror book. It's called A Monster Calls. This is what the pages look like, and they're the glossy kind of pages. It has a bunch of illustrations like this. I'm very intrigued to know what this story is about, because the back just says the monster showed up after midnight, as they do, and it isn't the monster Connor's been expecting, the one from the nightmare he's had nearly every night since his mother started her treatment, the one with the darkness and the wind and the screaming. This monster is something different, something ancient, something wild, and it wants the truth. what does that mean? I'm so intrigued by this. The Gingerbread Bakery. This one is like rivalry type thing. Like they've known each other for such a long time and they're just like beefing it out. I'm very excited to see where this goes. There's also going to be another book that comes out in May of 2026. So I'm very excited to get my hands on that one. That is all of my top books of 2025 and my 2026 TBR. I hope you found some inspiration to pick up a book if you want. Yeah, I'm very excited to read these books. I feel very passionately about the books that I presented that I read this year. Yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, feel free to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!